Yo, what's good, famos? Shuffle Tea here. You know the deal. On the Patreon, I'm gonna go through a battle today. Yeah, that's right. You've probably already seen what it is. I just realised the way that this gets edited is that the thing is already out there. You can already see the screen and what battle it is. But I chose this one today, Dundee versus Shuffle Tea, or Shuffle Tea versus Dundee. You know, if you're going to put me first, which I think you should, really, shouldn't you? I mean, I travelled all the way over there. He didn't travel over here, did he? I mean, he did a different time, but not this time. So I think respect is due. And give me the person's name first. Yeah. Now listen, Shuffle Tea versus Dundee. This was a really fun one, both to write for and to perform. The whole thing about being out in Australia was really exciting because it was the first time I've been out in Australia, and I never ever travel by myself because I'm so bad at it. You know, I can't be trusted in these kind of situations. I will fuck up, and so I was really nervous about getting there. But I got there absolutely fine, and I was out there for 7 days, which was lovely. A whole week, and I stayed with the guys there who hosted it, Tom and Chris, which was really nice, and Sarah, and it was just a lovely time. Like, I really enjoyed every bit of it, and you know, if anything, I wanted to stay more. Got to the last day after the battle had happened, and I was going to bed at about 1ish, and I text my girlfriend saying, right, I'm off to bed now, you know, catch you tomorrow when I leave. And she was like, what do you mean you're off to bed? And I was like, I'm going to sleep. She was like, no, you should be at the airport now. And I said, no, because it says that the flight's going at 3 a.m, but they mean 3 p.m. because the time difference. And she goes, why do you think that they would put the time difference, they would accommodate for that? Why do you think they would ask you to add 12 hours on? You're meant to be there now. And I was like, no, we printed this in England, so it says 3 a.m. And then the more I was thinking of it, the more I was thinking, am I a fucking idiot? Am I the stupidest person that's ever existed? And so looked into it, and yeah, my flight was in the air. And so I, beyond fucking panicked, right? The most panicked I've ever been. Jumped out of bed, went into Chris's room, and was just like, mate, this is fucking crazy, but I've missed my flight. The flight is currently in the air. I'm a fucking idiot. And he had to go to work tomorrow, so did his girlfriend. So like, it was a whole thing. He ended up having to lend me money for the flight, which was the amount that I got paid for the whole thing. So I broke even, but I didn't even have that money because he'd paid me some of it in advance anyway. So I just had to spend the next few months just like paying him back, which I did. And I was eternally grateful. It was an amazing thing that he did. But fuck me, what an idiot! I had to get the flight back the next day. We had to book it like emergency last minute thing. Went at 6 a.m. because they had to go to work, but the flight didn't come until like 3 p.m. So I was just there, sat down I ate two Burger Kings just to fill the time. I fell asleep, but I was like so conscious that I might fall asleep through the thing. I felt like a fucking arsehole. That trip was the first time I met Lou Cypher. Properly met him anyway. We spent like the whole week hanging out. He's a fucking legend. I love Lou Cypher. He's so cool. And yeah, so we just spent the whole time there, and it was a brilliant time. I don't regret it. I mean, I regret fucking up and having to spend, 900 quid on the ticket. But other than that, beautiful time. And all the guys out there are so nice. I loved it. It's a great vibe out there. And yeah, Dundee was a really good opponent. Right, I'm gonna just start this now. I'm gonna just start and see what comes up in my head when we go through.
On my right, representing Tas motherfucking Mania, introduce yourself.
Dundee motherfuckers, what's good, Melbourne?
The Australian crowd naturally love Dundee. Like, it's a real nice kind of relationship there is with the crowd. It's beautiful.
My left, all the way from the UK. Introduce yourself.
Shuffle T, do you have insurance? Let's fucking go!
That's, I just realised no one will get that. The reason why Chris Codex laughs so much at that bit, and why I say, do you have insurance, is because a few days later, we went to a shop to get some beers, and Chris parked up, and I think when he opened his door, maybe it like touched the car next to us, and the guy Chris was like, "Oh, sorry, mate," and then the guy was just like immediately, "Do you have insurance? Do you have insurance? Because you have to fucking give me your insurance details right now. Do you have insurance?" He just kept saying it, and we were and he left really menacingly when Chris was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, he was like, "All right, okay, yeah, all right," and we were like, "Is he gonna come back with a fucking gun? Jesus Christ!" It was mental. But yeah, so we kept saying that, and then I put it in there.
Shuffle's gonna go first.
Always go first if you can, especially abroad, because you have to introduce them to who you are. You don't want them going, "Oh, it's my favourite person, Dundee, going first. Oh, that's amazing. Now let's see what this twat has to say." No, you want to go, "Right, let's give this guy a chance. Then we'll see our favourite Dundee." That's what you do.
Yeah, I'm in from the UK! Yeah! Thank fuck. Nah, you react to me. Could have gone enthusiastically, have just fucking booed me massively. I'm in from the UK. Let me tell you something. That was a long, protracted flight. I read War and Peace in Latin, backwards, twice.
I realise, in hindsight, it would have been nicer to have said thrice, because everyone guessed twice. It would have been nicer, War and Peace, backwards, thrice, just to give a little bit of a rug pull, but, you know, hindsight is indeed 2020.
You don't know the shit I went through to battle you. Halfway into the flight, we ran out of packaged food. But I maintain we did what we had to do when we ate that member of the cabin crew.
This whole thing is like, is this a concept round? It doesn't last the whole round, first of all, but is this a concept thing, or is this just like playing on one joke? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never really sure what the difference is between those. Like, the Heretic Coffee Shop round, that's a concept round because it's acting out an entire sequence. The phone call round with my mum, that's an acting out. The gun one against Carter Deems, like, is that a concept round, or is that just playing on a concept? You know, is that a difference? Like, is playing on a concept different to a concept round? Is this a concept round, or am I just making a joke for half a round? I don't really know. What do you guys think?
Halfway into eating his legs, a woman from the back came through like, "I found some extra sandwich." Ooh.
That's something that I love to do if I can, is like rhyme things that technically aren't really like words. Do you know what I mean? Like, sandwich, ooh, like that kind of thing. I love that. It's like when I did it against Raptor as well. It's like, anyway, like rhyming that sound of laughing. Anything like that I really like. In fact, I've always wanted to get into a battle. I've always wanted to do this. I don't know if the camera will pick this up actually. And this is why I haven't done it yet, because I'm not sure if it can pick it up. But I like the idea of rhyming a little itch with... Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up. And I'll have a little itch and I'll scratch it with my fingertips. Or... Anyway, it's a silly idea, but I would love to get able to get that out. But yeah, anything like that where it's not strictly rhyming like technically, you know, words. There obviously ooh is a word, but, you know, rhyming that kind of sound. I love doing that.
So fucking bored of the flight, I found a guitar and a man and fucking started a band.
Something I noticed about this bit, having watched back once before, several times, is that I just say the word fucking a bit too much here. It's like, I think every time maybe I'm getting close to like maybe forget, because I was jet lagged and, you know, it was tricky. And half of this material I wrote the night before, literally the night before, because I had a round and I decided that I didn't like a lot of the stuff on it. So I wrote all of the old stuff. I wrote the night before, but I didn't. Yeah, I think every time I sort of get to the point where I'm like, I'm not entirely sure that I know what's coming next, I say fucking, and it's a bit lazy, to be honest, in the performance. I didn't want to, but it just sort of came out.
It's all going well, as was part of the plan. We released 3 albums, they were eating out the palm of our hands, and then due to creative differences when we started to land. Bored of the flight as soon as I fucking boarded the flight. Even turned around to fucking talk to a guy. I said, how you doing? He said, well, I turned 40 tonight. I said, congrats. He said, I was fucking born on this show.
I had that idea from an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where she says she's in a queue, and she says something like that. She's in a queue for like the DMV, or like the wizarding DMV, and the woman in front of her, she goes, excuse me, how long is this queue? And she goes, my son turns 10 today. She goes, oh, that's nice, but how long is the queue? He was born in this queue. So I stole that.
So bored! Watch one of your battles. The fucking Disney sing song. That was the point I shot the pilot like filming a new sitcom. Fucking rip that.
The reason I stammer on that bit as well is because I told Tom, who I was staying with, the night before my rounds, and when I said that one, that's when I shot the pilot like filming a new sitcom, which I liked as a line. He was like, oh, Pat Stay did that like a week ago. And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, Battle about a week ago came out and he said that same thing. And I was like, fuck. Well, I'm not getting rid of it. You know when you get really defensive. Like, I hadn't seen the battle, so I didn't, it was just complete coincidence. But you know when you know that yourself, but you still get really defensive, I was like, well, I'm not getting rid of it. Like, I came up with it myself, so like, I might have even written it before he came up with it. So like, I'm not going to get rid of it. And he's like, no, you don't have to. I'm just telling you that, that he said it. Yeah, well, that doesn't mean that I can't say it. It's like, no, that's fine. So I said it. But then when I said it, I was obviously thinking, oh, people are going to think I've fucking stolen it. So I stammered.
That was the point I shot the pilot like filming a new sitcom. Fucking rip that fucking plane out.
Fucking, we ripped that plane, King Kong.
At the sky like I'm King Kong. I don't know if I said it yet, right, but the flight was a bit long. It's a miracle I got through customs. Fucking miracle that happened. They said, what brings you to Australia? I said, killing it with rapping.
Simple, innit?
I said, how long do you plan your stay? I said, till I'm finished snapping. Under occupation, I wrote I was a lyrical assassin. Thought they might find it funny if they're a fan of my work. They thought they'd carry out a cavity search. And I crap now, it hurts. But I'm finally here, wasting a full 90 seconds with D now. Which probably feels to you kind of like I'm wrenching your teeth out. Talking about how long it took to fly, collect and bring me down because I couldn't think of enough shit for you to try and stretch it to 3 rounds.
That was it, I think. I think that was how it ended the first time. But it was like, just try and stretch it to 3 rounds. Time. And it was sort of like, it was like a 90-second thing. And I was just thinking, well, if I'm out here, I think there was some material that I had maybe before that I got rid of. And I was like, I can't be out here and doing 90-second round. It just feels like I'm not giving enough. Like sometimes I think that's my issue sometimes. Sometimes. Is that like, I like to do, you know, if someone says 90 seconds rounds, then to me, that says 90 seconds is the minimum. It doesn't mean that like it's the limit. And you know, that's a relationship I've had with it. And I always think, well, then I should give more. If I can, then I should write more. It should be a long round, things like that. But it's not always appropriate. Sometimes it's better to just do a 90-second round or a 2-minute round. But I always want to give more performance. For me, I don't care if they say he went on too long, therefore he didn't win. Because I don't really mind about winning. I mind about doing the best performance I can do. And if that means it has to go 5 minutes, then I will do 5 minutes and try to keep it so that people don't get bored in that 5 minutes. But I would rather do that and not win than do it and, you know, but basically what I'm saying is I don't really care about winning that much.
I might talk about you being kind of old though.
Turns out he's not that old. I think I got the wrong end of the stick somewhere. He's not very old. And so actually, the fact that I'm saying that I think he looks old is actually a bigger insult than the fact that he is old. Do you know what I mean? And it's such an insult that it kind of goes beyond the battle, and I genuinely feel a bit bad about it, because he doesn't even look that old, but I might have given him a complex. Like, he kept saying about how old I was, but he kept saying I looked old, but I'm only 31, so I don't really understand. He's only 2 years older than me. Do I really look that old? And the answer is no, not really. But I thought he was old for some reason. I don't know why. I think maybe because he'd been doing rap for quite a while, but he just started when he was young.
Oh no? You're so old though. You put the old in old.
This is all the stuff I wrote the night before. So, but I actually think the panic may have given me a bit of incentive to write a bit better. I like the first half, and I like the second half, but I think the second half might have a bit more sharpness to it in terms of being insulting.
What I call the olden days, you call the golden age.
I've had that for years.
Honestly, man, you're actually double my age. I mean, obviously you're not, but after 40, who cares? It's exactly fucking the same. I won't say you're old enough to be my dad, 'cause that's changing the facts. But you are old enough to be a mate of my dad's. You could go round to a dinner date at their pad and I'd be like, yeah, that's fine, nothing strange about that.
I quite like that angle.
You met a gypsy woman who was going to read his fate on his span. She was like, this line can help us tell the age of a man. She read it and then she was kind of taken aback. It just says, you fucking old cunt, on the base of his hand.
He's not even old. He's not even very old.
I'm going to leave it there because your beady glare and evil stares making me really scared.
It's an alright first round. The plain stuff is my favourite from the battle, I think. Apart from, there's quite a nice multi-string in the third round that's not bad. Shout out Callum Doig. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Doig.
Fucking old into old. Can't you get decked in the pelvis like pull your bloody head in cock and show some respect to your elders? Like, I might put the old in old, but who cares, you bloody weird meth head? Clan's battle to you was like 60, so I've still got a couple years left yet. So, here he is. The pretty boy of battle rap versus Shuffle T.
Using the old line against me, is he? Cheeky.
You think you're the real pretty boy of battle rap? Bro, in your fucking dreams. Why don't you have another geese? Can I'm such an utter beast that once I leave the stage tonight, the females will all flood to me. Them sluts will be 100 deep just begging for my company. So when you go home alone to your hotel and beat your fucking meat, that'll be the only time tonight that you'll be touching D.
Have another geese. I love that. He's got a really nice casual way of... He just writes kind of like he chats. It's good.
I am the true pretty boy of battle rap. You just bit my style, you thieving cockhead. When I walked into the venue, you could tell that he was astonished just to see the body of such a sleek Adonis looking more cooler than an Indonesian province. Got my blue steel Tigra pop, and to be completely honest, if I ever needed dollars, I could have been a model. But I didn't. Real talk. To be completely honest, if I ever needed dollars, I could have been a model. But I didn't want to take the easy option. I got bitches throwing books at me like they kicking me out the house because I cheated on them. Well,
It's good stuff. He's got a really nice way of writing, I think. It's just like, sometimes there's nothing much funnier than just calling someone a dickhead or a cockhead or, stuff like that. I think he's got it down to a T.
Shuffle T's a grommet. Hey, know why you don't need to wear a franger with the whores he has sex with? Because his dress sense alone is a form of protection. And I only call into question all your vestments because with the wardrobe you're dressed in, I'm sort of suspecting that you have a more than extensive fedora collection.
It's great. It's a great angle to take against me, this kind of thing.
I'm I'm sorry, Sharp. I mean, I tend to get a bit carried away with stuff. But it's hard, you know? Once I start talking about how I'm an insanely buff Tasmanian stud with a facial structure ladies love, I almost forgot to say to you, welcome to Australia, cunt. I'm sure you've probably heard a couple stories about our nation, bruv. You're up against a whole heap of gnarly shit, so no one can guarantee your safety, cuz. But I guess you laugh in the face of danger, huh? Well, it's almost like you've tried to put yourself in the worst possible situation, but because between the bipolar Melbourne weather and the cancer-causing rays of sun, the array of rough and shady pubs, the roaming packs of crazy drunks, the racist, munted, wasted thugs, sharks and spiders, snakes and bugs, plus now you're face-to-face with Dunn, so it's pretty safe to say you're fucked.
That's great as well, because I kind of bring up the same sort of thing that he's talking about here. So it's one of those things where it makes a bit of a story. It's complete chance, but like it makes a bit of a story to this battle, like that he brings it up and then I sort of talk about it as well. Makes you feel like it's more impromptu, which it's not obviously, but you know what I mean.
So when they told me I got shuffle tea, man, I could not help but chuckle. You travelled halfway around the globe just to put yourself in a world of trouble. I could clip him in his chin just to watch his fucking helmet buckle, see his feet slide out from under him. Now you really came to Melbourne Shuffle.
That's a great line. The Melbourne Shuffle. Yeah, that's really clever.
And I know, I tell all of my opponents, I'll punch them. Honestly, I'm trying to make a change and take a stand, lad. I've got to set an example. I'm a father now. Maybe one day I'll be a granddad. Yeah. So as a testament to me stopping all this talk of violence in my damn raps, just this afternoon, I went out and got myself a new hand tat.
Fucking hell. I was livid. He did the little circle bit. He got me as well. I don't know why I looked. Of course he didn't get himself a hand tattoo that day. What was I doing? Why did I look? What an idiot.
And if you think I only punched him in the arm because I can, just to put it over the cunt, well then you can't understand. It's that circle game shit. And that's all part of the plan. I've got this motherfucking round in the palm of my hand.
That's great. That's a great little 4-bar. Amazing. Really good.
Motherfucker just deaded my wing. I just let the guy win. He's fucking terrifying.
Cheeky little rebuttal. You know what I mean? Not really a rebuttal because I'm not like insulting him back. I'm complimenting him and everything. I'm just like, oh, yeah, that hurt.
Dunn? Do you not get so fucking tired of being rigid and tensed up? Sticking your chest into your vest in a defense puff? You got a tattoo for each of the women you've death punched, just like your step.
That's one of those where I didn't really expect that to get that much of a response. I kind of thought it might get ooh, but like I think I'm glad it did anyway. It was a tricky rhyme. Da. Yeah, the women you've death punched. That's alright. My favourite thing is when the opponent laughs at something. So the fact that he sort of like doubled over, I was very happy.
You got a tattoo for each of the women you've death punched. It's like your steroids are on steroids. It's pretty intense stuff. Of course you get reaction in Oz. It's a piece of pie like a pizza slice. People tried to warn me before I took this battle to seek advice. They said, it's not that the Aussie scene has died, it's just seeming like it needs some life. I said, I'm sure that's not true. Who's your best battler? They're probably Dundee. I said, Jesus Christ. The scene has died.
Great idea to, if you do go to a different country or a different league or anything like that, insult everyone there and their country's efforts to engage in the thing that you're doing. People really respond well to being belittled as a nation.
It's about that shit in the UK. The audience wouldn't sound so wild. Because Dunn's 10 years behind. We grew out those styles. We wouldn't even save your battle to the download file. You would spit your best round and the crowd goes mild.
I've had that for years as well, the crowd goes mild. I've always liked it, it's fun. It's nice!
But that's not the only reason I'm glad that I'm from England. Huh? Sorry. That's not the that's not what I wanted to hear this guy say. That's not the only reason I'm glad that I'm from England. Because English people aren't constantly threatened by wildlife, that's going to kill them.
So this is stuff he was just talking about. It's quite nice that that happens by chance.
I'm saying, if you win, I don't cry with my bloody eyes in sorrow. I'm just satisfied with being the least likely to fucking die tomorrow.
I won't cry out my bloody eyes in sorrow. It's one of those things that, like, it sounds like it's nearly... That it sort of sounds fine, but it's also fucking shit. I won't cry out my fucking eyes in sorrow. It's kind of shite, that. Fucking hell. Pull your ass out your head. Past me.
Like you go out drinking with the boys on a late night, you're rowdy as fuck, your voices are raised high, you put your foot down on the field because the soil's a safe site, and then boom, right there, poisonous snake bite.
That was quite a nice run. Doi did a day die. It's quite a difficult one to get right. Boys in a day die, you're noisy and yeah, it's quite nice. I like that.
Or you're just in your house. You expect that you're safe. You've checked and surveyed and inspected the place. There's no sign of any fucking venomous snakes. Then, oh no, spider bite, dead in a day. I'm from the UK. Die from a spider or a huge snake, I'm more likely to die from a toothache, drown in tea, or somehow suffocate inside of my duvet. It's like fucking cane toads. Where I'm from, toads are a joke. You kick a toad in the arse. We'll go over and laugh at how fucking hopeless they are. Slap a toad in its stupid face. They cause nobody harm. Here, they fucking kill your dogs by eroding their heart.
I don't know why I said I kick a toad in the arse. I want to put it out there now. And we'll go over and laugh at how hopeless they are. Like, I don't really... It's such a silly idea to be like... Toads are so not harmful to humans that we all gather around and go, fucking stupid toad, you're not killing me, you cunt. Why the fuck are you even here, you bastard? Yeah, you fucking kick the fucking toad in the arse. Doesn't really make any fucking sense. And you don't kick a toad in the arse. Leave him alone. Jesus.
It's fucking real shit. Crocodiles and tarantulas? That's making me sick. Dinosaurs and giant spiders? Are you taking the piss? For the first 20 years of my life, I thought they were a myth, and now I'm literally in the fucking place they exist.
That's based on a true story. In that, for ages, I thought tarantulas were like a myth. I didn't think they were real. I thought it was just something people said. You know, I didn't think that they were real. Yeah, I thought that I thought it was just sort of something people said, like I don't know, I can't think, like pixies or like elves. For ages, I genuinely thought they weren't real, but they are. And you know, obviously now I know. But yeah, I just thought there was something. It's quite embarrassing, actually. I can't remember how old I was, but it was old enough to know that tarantulas are real. Maybe like 16. Yeah, I think 16. Before I realised that they were actually real things that people... Is that bad? Did everyone else know that? Whatever.
So basically, Mick, and I'll say this to Chris, you don't have to pay me £1 for taking the win. Just save me from shit. I'm constantly paranoid of the cane toads, the ticks, the snails, the sticks, the snakes and the fish, all the Australian shit.
I'm quite happy with that. That's one of those, like, it's a list. I'm saying a list of Australian shit. Ooh. So yeah, I like that. It was, the only weak one there really is sticks. I don't know why I'd be afraid of the sticks in Australia. I don't think there's a country in the world, or maybe even a planet, where the sticks would actually make me worried. But I think in my head when I was saying it, I was like, well, maybe there's a chance I could confuse a stick for a snake, so I'd be afraid of the sticks. But it's a bit poor. But everything else there is quite nice.
Just save me from shit. I'm constantly paranoid of the cane toads, the ticks, the snails, the sticks, the snakes and the fish, all the Australian shit. It's a dangerous mix. Just take me to his, safe in the crib, and maybe I'll live.
And that was where I was going to end it. And I think I wrote this the day before as well, because I realised that I hadn't insulted him yet. Really. I mean, I just, I said the women who death punch kind of thing. But there wasn't really much, apart from the old stuff, in this round. There was no real insult to it. So I realised I needed to add something in, which is what this is.
And I haven't insulted you much this round. Just been stupidity done. You're probably thinking if you diss me, then you've instantly won. I assure you, all of this is just a cute Englishman stunt, and though I haven't said it enough yet, I do think you're a cunt.
And I think that might end up being the round, the bar of that round, because it actually worked out nice. Like, the stupidity done. It's just been stupidity done. You think if you diss me, then you've instantly won. Cute Englishman stunt. I do think you're a cunt. It's one of those things where, like, the rhyme is quite complex, but it's also quite clear. Like, the end sound at the end is quite consistent. Cunt, stunt, done, and won. So, like, that, even though multisyllabics doesn't necessarily revolve around that kind of thing with the consonants, it's more about the assonants. When you do get it, and you do get it consistent like that, it's always going to buy people more into it, on the whole. So I think it was lucky that I put that in, because otherwise that round, compared with his round now, would have seemed really off balance. I still think he wins this round, if I remember correctly, but I think at least it's a bit more balanced because of that last bit where I sort of, solidify it. But again, that's sort of like a concept round. It's not, I don't think it is, but it's sort of like a concept round in that it's like just playing with the concept of Australia's dangerous and I'm an Englishman, and the only actual like non-concept-y round of this is the third round that I do. So yeah, that's why I thought it was an interesting battle to go through, because it's like the whole concepts and that. Also, when I do that, I have to block my ear, because I've got a perforated eardrum, and so loud noises makes it crackle. I just realised that in every video I do that quite a lot, and so I was just saying that's what I'm doing.
I don't care if you were classically trained in theatrical plays. I don't care if you got a high distinction in speech and drama back in the day.
He's got a great delivery all the way through this. I don't care.
I don't care if your talent was naturally made for the cabaret game and you get a standing ovation when you do Hamlet on stage. Because I guess you're a chameleon of battle rap in a way. You can drastically change your true colours through a gamut of shades. Like, 1 minute you're dropping gun bars in a gangster display. Next minute saying you love the cock like you have to be gay. So I'm surprised that when you rocked up to this battle today that you didn't blacken your face and bring an Aboriginal flag to the stage. No. And as the fallout on Twitter grows and Briggs will go attacking this fake with some rational debate, Shuffle casually say, just relax, it's okay. It's not actually racist, I'm just getting into character, eh?
Bit of a cheap angle, that, I think, when because where does that come from? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? Are you're a battle rapper, but you're an actor, but you talk about shooting guns, which I don't do. I haven't talked about shooting guns, unless it's like really, really ironically. So how does that jump to the idea that I would have done something racist? But I get it, because when you say that someone else is racist on stage, it gets the crowd to support, because they don't want to seem racist or that they endorse what you're accusing them of doing, so they applaud you. So that is this whole thing about it. But yeah, not my favourite angle there. Shout out to Stephen.
Come round here, coming round here, mate.
Love that line.
Fuck the Earl Grey tea you sipping cups and the warm beer that you drink in pubs. Stop being a whinging bloody prick for once and shut the fuck up about the cricket, bruv. Because if there's two things in this world that absolutely shit me shuff, it's people are intolerant of other people's cultures and bloody English cunts.
It's a classic gag. I think it also got used, it's older than this, but it got used in Austin Powers. I think Michael Caine, who plays Nigel Powers, the father of Austin Powers, says it Gold member. He says there are two people I hate in this world. There's people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. It's a great line.
So, when I heard that England left the EU and what the Brits had just started, and the repercussions of the Brexit and what it did to these bastards, and the fact it means that a lot more pommies will be living in hardship, I fucking cracked open a VB and pissed myself laughing. Up until then, the Aussie dollar fared pretty poorly to the pound. You had one of the world's strongest currencies and all of you were proud. So the Brexit fucked that up, the bank froze all of your accounts and your economy in all its glory started falling to the ground. But see, when I heard that shit, mate, I was walking on a cloud. Like, all my Christmases had come at once. It was as awesome as it sounds. Because now when I go to England in December, I'll be balling up in stout. And I don't mean buying bottles of French champagne so I can pour a couple out. Just means if I go into a pub in London and I order me a stout, I won't have to put a second mortgage on my house just to afford the frickin' round.
True story.
I don't hate all.
He's so comfortable on stage. That's one of the things that makes him so watchable. He's just fucking got a comfort that, you know, it's a kind of Pat Stay-ish comfort. It's really good. It's a joy to watch, and it's one of the most comfortable I've felt on stage, and I think part of that was down to him because there was this sort of friendly banter. You know, we spoke to each other a couple of days before and stuff. We were there together, you know, and he'd come over from Tasmania, and it was just a really nice vibe. It felt like everyone was your mate there on the day. I've just seen Liam as well there. I made quite a few friends there, and there were people I already knew from, you know, chatting online and stuff. It's just it was just a lovely vibe, and you know, Dundee was part of that, and the hosts were part of that. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
English cunts. That's too broad of a statement. I just find that Brexit shit fucking hilarious. Before you go calling me racist, how you cunts drop the EU and they all call it a failure, while we just dropped the AU, started calling it Australia.
Great.
Plus, if Tassie ever got told to fuck off by our Victorian neighbours, shit, we'd bring boatloads of inbred bogans to your shores and invade you. So the next time Shuffle flies in Melbourne Airport, he'll be sure to embrace it when he sees a big sign that says, "Welcome to far northern Tasmania."
Excellent. That was a really good round. I think he won that one. It was good.
Since Brexit, the UK is still nearly as livable. You won't be allowed there. Nothing to do with Brexit, you're just clearly a criminal.
That's alright. I get the rebuttals out now and then, you know. I get the rebuttals out. I get them swinging about.
Now I heard it was winter in Australia, so I started packing some sweaters, a coat made out of Italian leather and an umbrella to make sure I wasn't caught out by the lack of good weather. Then I remembered, I'm from fucking England. Turns out I'm not the most practical dresser. I've been sweating like Rolf Harris standing together with an under 13-year-old family member.
I think me and Chris, who is the guy who's hosting it, he's clapping now, the guy with the great jaw, we share a moment here, because I swear there was like an ongoing joke where I wouldn't tell him my Rolf Harris bar, or like I wouldn't tell him the celebrity bars. I had a couple of celebrity bars to do with Australia, and he just really enjoyed it. He just really liked it, and so we have a little moment here.
Sweating like Steve Irwin in a deep water animal centre.
It's quite a nice one. I'm really happy with this run of multi-syllables. It's 5 syllable, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at animal centre, and I keep it going for quite a while, and I'm pretty happy with all the examples I use.
To battle Dundee. It is.
It's offensive.
To battle Dundee. A man who makes Iggy Azalea look like a national treasure.
See, they're quite rare for me to do these kind of ones where like every line is kind of like a punchline for at least a bit. Like, I rarely do it. I like to build up to things, but this is one of those times where I didn't.
And that's Dunn spelled D with a capital letter, because what, are you 38 or something? You've been rapping forever. You've been going for like 20 years and you haven't got better. What do you think, life begins at 40 applies to your rapping endeavors? Do you think your career's just gonna suddenly fucking magic together? 50 isn't the age of Amp-Top's average member. So you're not gonna be able to handle the pressure, and you can mark my words like a language professor.
I like that. You can mark my words like a language professor. It's alright, because they would mark your words. It's alright.
I'm like a lion and fucking Jesus got sandwiched together. You're like a shit rapper and an even shitter rapper got mashed in a blender. We're about to see him collapse in the center. It'll be like watching Michael J. Fox practicing Jenga.
Why would he practice? What's he practicing doing Jenga? He's just by himself, just going, I better get good at this. Since I've got Parkinson's, it's a game I want to get better at. Mental. Why would he be practicing?
Every celebrity I can think of, ever. You'll get slammed in the cellar, strangled, dismembered, stabbed in the chest and shackled and fettered.
I just learned the word fetters. I remember this. I think I was reading... Oh, God, I hate that I have to say this. I was reading Dostoevsky, right? Who is not fucking worth it. I hated it. It's not... I didn't feel smart. I felt stupid reading it. So I think I read it to look smart and felt stupid by doing that. But he used the word fetters quite a lot, which means like shackles. And so I put it in because I quite liked it. In fact, I was reading the book and it said shackled and fetters, so I put it in because it was in the rhyme scheme, and I was like, oh, what are the chances? So yeah, that's a Dostoevsky reference. What do you fucking want, mate? Yeah, I'm referencing Dostoevsky on this shit. Fuck you.
Came to Australia to give these people a clash to remember, and this average contender doesn't match my agenda.
Didn't get as big of a reaction together, so I actually do forget the lines here, but I try to pull it back with this.
Can I remember the next bit? Can I remember? Yes, I can. I remember.
I choked in rhyme. Has anyone ever done that? I choked in rhyme. That was complete chance that I said, can I remember? I didn't realise that rhymed when I said it. That must be the first time anyone's ever choked in rhyme.
I'd let you off with a warning like a traffic inspector. But you got a head I want to take off, and I'm an avid collector. I'd let you go back to your crackling embers unless you try to bite the hand that feeds you like Hannibal Lecter.
That was alright. I think that's basically why I wrote that whole thing.
Dundee? Least original name for an Aussie battler ever. You definitely need to get better to me. The letter's a D because getting a D is the cleverest he could ever achieve. It beggars belief. So
Quite nice, I like that. I like these bits.
so unintelligent he finds picture books too high a level to read. His wife comes home and sees him watching Sesame Street, but it's not for his daughter, she's in bed and asleep. He's just trying to get to grips with his alphabet in the week and keeps on getting fucking stuck at LMNOP.
See, that was one where actually, like, the writing wasn't actually that amazing there, but it got a reaction because every time someone or the audience went to sort of laugh at one bit, I hit them with the next bit, which was a bit funnier, and then the next bit, which was a bit funnier, and then the next one, which was like the breaking of the tension of the suspense there. So like you can, that's kind of a calculation there. Like, I knew that people were going to laugh at those points, and if you cut them off and carry on going, then people keep wanting to laugh until you get to the end, and then a clap makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So it's about like working with the audience to sort of like make them go along with you, get on side with you.
I'll keep going, but you're angry and you're hencher than me.
I hate the fucking way I do that. What a cringy little prick.
But fuck it. Battle's pretty much over. So tomorrow afternoon...
This bit was sort of freestyle, like obviously not freestyle, but I had the rhymes, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to do to them. And I thought, because even before the battle had started, I knew it was such a nice vibe that I knew I would be able to sort of just work with the rhymes and sort of come up with some of the ideas as I went along. So I've got the rhymes here, but the lines I'm sort of like letting happen kind of naturally and seeing where they go. So it's not really freestyle, it's kind of just like a bit of, free form sort of stuff.
Me and you go get a barbecue. Hang out with a fucking Cascagoon. A buy you a fucking lager too without you even me asking to.
Which is why I say without you even me asking to. Which was, I guess, meant to say without you even asking me to, but that doesn't rhyme, so I just fucked the syntax.
Sort of fucking... I thought Foster's was popular out here and everyone drinks it, but you hardly do. I'll come back to fucking Australia in a couple years, go to Taz and then Darwin too, and we can cuddle up like koalas do. I'll let you blow my didgeridoo.
I'll let you. It's not really an insult. What am I saying here? This isn't an insult. We'll cuddle up and you can, if you want, suck my penis. But no pressure. Didgeridoo. It's because I was just trying to rhyme. I remember I was trying to rhyme as many Australian stuff as well. So there's barbecue, there was didgeridoo, and cask of goon, which is the bag of wine, I think, that they drink.
Something kangaroo. Boomerang backwards is gnaramoob.
That's intense shit right there. Reversing a word to feed it in with a rhyme scheme and keep it relevant to the idea of levels, mate. Levels to this shit.
Fuck it! It's over, it's crystal clear, let's disappear, go drink a beer and argue over who has the shittest beard.
Tom, who's the cameraman on this and whose house I stayed around with Sarah, he pointed out this bit when we watched it the day after together. We watched it back, and Dundee is obviously, he's thinking so quickly that I just say, let's argue over who has the shittest beard, and watch what his hand does. He's like, you. Immediate. You do. And it's really fun. It is me. It is me as well, he's got a lovely beard. That was a good round. I'm happy with that round. Watching it back, I think it's nice. Fun.
You're fucking lucky you weren't mean about my wife and daughter.
See, I think this is one of those ones where you kind of want to do a rebuttal, but they haven't said it. So instead of going, he mentioned my wife and daughter, you have to go, it's a good thing you didn't mention my wife and daughter, because here's what would have happened if you did. Which is never quite, but I get it. I've done it before as well.
Or you can get punched in the...
That's the thing. Right. This is something I've been wanting to bring up because I forgot to bring it up before. See the way I drink here, right? I do a weird thing where I put my head to the cup. I don't bring the cup up here and then do that. I put my head to the cup and then I rotate the whole cup like that, right?
Or you can get punched in the jaw.
I rotate my head like that, right? It seems like a silly thing to bring up. But I get the thing and I bring it down there and I move the whole head rather than going like this. And the reason I do that is because I'm forcing it to touch my head so that it's not obvious that my hand is shaking. Because if I'm drinking like this on stage, then you'd see that I'm shaking like this. Because I'm always shaking. I don't know why, I can't get over it. I feel confident in my head, but my body betrays me and it starts shaking, so I'm like that. And there's a chance I'd miss my mouth and dribble. So instead, I go like this, I bring it close and I go, so that it's like, it sounds stupid, but like, you'll notice I do it in pretty much every battle. Like that. But that's not how I drink in everyday life, obviously.
Sure. And it ain't even me you got to worry about. Me fucking mother-in-law. She got a sixth sense. She'll just know if you're talking any kind of shit about her girls, bruh, and appear on this stage out of thin air and fucking put you up on World Star. True story. Now, if you didn't know, Shuffle, tad obsessed with battle rap. Just a tad. And he's a passionate guy. He tries to bring battling into nearly every facet he finds. He'll just walk up in the street to the first random he spies, like round one on Shuffle Team, starts attacking with Brian.
This is I've seen this angle used quite a few times, but it's usually people like Thesaurus and stuff like that, or like O'Shea, or so people who have been in it for years and years and years and years and have had loads of battles. I don't really think I fit this this angle, but obviously I do if he thinks it. But Do you know what I mean? I didn't think I would be one of those people who would be... It's actually nearly flattering.
Say what you will about Shuffle. Need a battling type. I mean, next to him, I don't even really know what battling's like. What's it like, bro? You do a battle a day and a fucking battle a night. Every conversation you have is a battle of minds. Codex ain't need to pay an airline when you travel to Sky. Shit, you just rocked up at the service desk and battled for flights. Plus you literally went to a wedding when they were getting married and tried to fucking battle the groom and then battle the bride. See?
That was amazing that day with the wedding. Huh. What a world.
True shit. I remember my wedding day. One of my happiest times. But if some fuckwit rocked...
That's great, because you don't expect him to carry on with the rhyme. So I really like that. One of my happiest times. It's great.
...up on that spectacular night and tried to battle me, right, and took some jabs at my wife, I'd fucking pull out a blade like cunt battle a knife until he's lying on a gurney trying to battle for life. Fucking ruined my wedding, cunt. So I guess we both take battling pretty serious. But homie, you in a different zone. See, I get tatted up with my family's names and fallen soldiers in the ink I chose. Well, you get tatted up with slow it downs, Dizz's jokes, clips his quotes, and got a back piece of Holiday Don half naked in a suspicious pose. He probably answers with talk to him anytime someone calls this dickhead's phone. You got Don DeMarco's for your message sound and sprat for your ringing tone. I'm the type to rub one out to a big-titted hoe that's getting boned. You the type to rub one out to a fucking video of Chilla Jones. You identify as barsexual.
That's great.
You identify as barsexual. That's what that faggotry is called, cunt. Trying to pass it off as just a passion when in
Cool cut.
reality it's more. But see, my greatest wish in life is the one that I'll be having for my daughter. That for any dream she ever had, her daddy can support her. Well, your greatest wish in life ain't for your loved ones or your family at all, bruv. Your greatest wish in life is that they make lyrical into a category on Pornhub.
I don't think that the angle suits me, but I do think he does it well, so, you know, who cares?
You bloody wordplay fingering muppet. If you saw...
What's funnier than calling someone a muppet? There's not much. It's not a long list of things that are funnier than calling someone a muppet. You muppet.
me watching the Manners BK battle making some spastic faces, it's because I think their rap's amazing. If you saw him watching that battle making some spastic faces, it was premature ejaculation. And that's how I know this lad's a flamer, because he masturbates to rap from Vega.
Shout out Vega, he's an amazing writer.
So I'm just giving you this battle as a massive favour, and you can chuck him in the wank bank for later. So I'm real glad you made the trek to this event and you're here, Shuff. But saying you'll beat me is like saying we both have exceptional beards, bruv. On the fucking...
He probably tripped over that because I mentioned the beards at the end as well. So he probably didn't... that happens to me as well.
Best up in here, some respect and a fear done. So respect where respect is due. Go get me a beer, cunt.
That's the biggest hug I've ever given anyone after a battle. I loved that battle. I've seen this didn't get the most positive response really. I mean, it's been viewed a good number of times. There's over 100,000 views, and I'm happy with that. And that's really cool. But why'd I do that? But this is the most comfortable I felt on stage, and I just really enjoyed the battle. I feel like it was like evenly matched. I don't know who won. I don't really care. I just think it was it's just really fun. And I fucking loved Dundee. As a battler and as a person, it was just like, it was a delight to be around him. And Australia is one of my favourite places I've ever battled. It was an amazing time. I absolutely loved it. I got drunk every night. And excellent. Right, cheers for watching, peeps. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep up the good work. And check out the the Robbie Williams podcast if you haven't already. I'm going to put up the video soon on my YouTube, so give that a watch. Bye!